Welcome, everyone, to episode 127 of Rangers Ed, presented by Lucarelli Law. If you're in Florida and need a lawyer, call Lucarelli Law and tell them the boys at Rangers Ed sent you. I'm back this week, boys. This is Cousin Ed. Had a little detour last week. Sorry about that, but you guys covered nicely. I listened to the episode. Little Ed was buzzing as the host. I think I almost lost my job after that performance. But
you can have it back. I'm all set. Thank you, though.
Yeah, exactly, right. Not so easy. No, but you did a great job. Nikki Blogs, thank you for filling in as well. It was nice to have him on because a lot of the points that I would have made, he made, and Coach was much nicer to him than he would have been to me. So it was a little bit of a different dynamic. But it was a good episode, boys. I was actually out in Colorado. My law firm had an oral argument there in the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, so I got to go to Denver a couple of days. We worked a lot. Then Tuesday after the argument, I actually hiked Mount Morrison, which was insane. It was 2,000 feet of elevation in like 4 miles, so it was pretty intense. But I got out there and got to breathe a little, and it was good. I love that kind of stuff. So good little break for me, but I'm back, and we're here in the middle of the Rangers and the St. Louis Blues after the first period. Little Ed, what are your thoughts on the first before we get into the episode?
Well, before I get into that, I wanted to shout out my new, student. I did my first one-on-one private power skating lesson out on the roller rink with Dylan. So shout out to Dylan. Nice. I think he might be watching right now. Yeah, his mom is my sports massage therapist I've been talking about the last couple episodes. So
nice.
We started some small talk, and one thing led to another. She found out I was a hockey coach and asked if I was willing to take her son down to the rink and show him some stuff. So that was fun. And on the coaching front, Coach Ed and I finished the semester strong with Stony Brook, and I'll pass it off to Coach Ed to talk about that.
Yeah, nice 4-3 win against New Haven, and we, like Eddie said, finished off the semester strong, going for a nice break now for about 40 days. And hopefully we come back, finish the season up, and we can make a run at it.
Nice. So Coach Ed has no conflicts for the next 40 days. That's all I heard there. So
I shouldn't. I should
That's
be able
good.
to watch some Ranger games.
Yeah. Well, speaking of watching Ranger games, we'll get into the analysis here, but let's jump right into the jersey profiles, which is sponsored by Oscar's Pro Stitch Hockey. This is episode 127, so number 27. We went with Ryan McDonough. Pretty sure we did Alexei Kovalev in episode 27, so I went McDonough this time. Recent Ranger, most of the fans who follow the team now are obviously going to be familiar with McDonough. He played 8 years with the Rangers, which honestly, it felt like it was more, but also that's a lot. That's a long time, right? 8 seasons, 516 games with the Rangers. Everyone knows he was drafted first round, 12th overall by Montreal. Scott Gomez trade, one of the best in Rangers history, getting McDonough, and then one of the worst trades in Rangers history, sending him and JT Miller for nothing. Nemesnikov, Hayek, Howden, Nils Lundqvist, and Carl Henriksen, nothing to show for any of that. So,
what do you mean nothing to show? Howden's a Stanley Cup winner. He's got 8 goals this year.
Nothing to show, meaning I'm pretty sure the trade tree is over already because they got a 4th round pick for Howden. I don't know who they got for him. I'll have to look that up. Hayek is in, Europe? Lundqvist, they traded for a first, and they sent to the Blues for Tarasenko, and then he left as a free agent. Henriksen is still a prospect in Hartford, but he's not looking like really an NHL player right now. So 2 very good players and not really a lot in return, but that's the risk you take when you rebuild, right? Not every trade is going to be a home run. He was the 27th captain in Rangers history and a 2-time Stanley Cup champion with Tampa Bay. I mean, Little Ed, your boy was Girardi. Did you like McDonough? I always feel like you didn't like McDonough that much when he was
I didn't. I didn't like him as a captain. I liked him as a player, but I think I don't think he was the best captain. I know he seemed quiet. I don't know how he was in the locker room, obviously, but he seemed on the quieter side. I like when the captain's a little bit more vocal, but he led by example. I mean, in the 2014 Stanley Cup run, he had 13 assists, which he was tied for first amongst defensemen in that playoff, and he had 17 points overall, which was second for defensemen in that playoff run. So he was an outstanding player. I definitely didn't give him enough credit when I was watching him. Girardi was my boy, but McDonough was a huge part of that team or those teams as well.
Yeah, Coach, I feel like he's pretty well thought of now by Ranger fans, but I seem to recall, towards the end of his tenure that people were a little dissatisfied, particularly after Little Ed pointed out he had that huge playoff run and then kind of didn't live up to that hype after that.
I think he just kind of I feel opposite you. I didn't feel like he was there 8 seasons. That kind of caught me by surprise, but I think he just got caught up in the Rangers funk and the whole thing that was going downhill after that. I always loved the way he played, and to me, when he was in the Stanley Cup teams with Tampa Bay, I thought the second one, he was definitely an MVP of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Without him, I thought he played ahead of Hedman in that playoff run.
We just the game's back on. I don't know if you saw it, Coach, but Bushnevich hip checks Panarin at the blue line, and then Panarin breaks Bushnevich's stick and swats it away.
I didn't see it, no.
We know they're close friends. Sorry, I just thought that was funny.
Let's get into what's buzzing around the Rangers. I think we got to talk about the period and,
Yeah, let's start. There's obviously big news today from Elliot Friedman. We'll get to that in a second. The game's on 17. I'm at 17:45.
Bushnevich just broke another stick. Checking Trocheck.
Yeah, I think that's the one I was talking about. Maybe you're a little behind me, Coach.
You said Panarin.
No, he hit Trocheck and then Panarin swatted his stick away after it broke.
Okay.
It was just kind of humorous. But what are your thoughts on the first period, Coach? After a couple of dud games against Calgary and Edmonton, where are the Rangers at here in this game?
I mean, it's another non-playoff team, so to say they came out flying, I didn't see it. They keep saying on broadcast that big difference in the period. Yeah, they took a 1-0 lead. The goal was kind of lucky. I didn't see them testing this kid that much.
I I would have liked them to score on the power play on those 2 power plays. That would have made a nice statement. Our star players, scoring twice. I had a bet on Panarin scoring the first goal of the game. I really thought I had that on the back-to-back power plays, but you know how it goes.
I thought the power plays kind of looked a little weak.
Yeah, I mean, once again, to me, it looked like Kaapo Kakko and Will Cuylle are playing well.
Trip.
And the rest of the team, not so much, right? I mean, same kind of theme. That goal against Zibanejad with that weak pass behind the net, Coach. I mean, I saw what you did last week with the Zibanejad defense you put on there. You'd be a good defense attorney, but what are your thoughts on that one? Is that his fault? Does he get a minus on that?
He gets the minus where he missed covering the guy in front of the net on the pass out. I mean, you're going to make a bad giveaway. I don't know if it was that soft of a pass. The timing was probably more off, but after that, he missed the guy in front. He should have been out covering that guy in front.
I thought there was like a scramble.
Those kind of giveaways happen all game. So we're just harping on the fact that he's in a slump. So everybody's watching every pass he makes. But it was what you do after that bad play.
You're really stretching hard to defend Zibanejad.
Well, I don't like when they're going to run a guy out of town for,
Another minus for Mika.
CW joins in the chat. Biggest plus to a possible Kreider trade is Mika might move his no move trade clause or no move clause.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Maybe they'll go as a package.
Nobody could take on $15 million in salary mid-season like that unless there's money coming back. And I don't know where you guys are at in the game, but Mika with another minus.
Well, right now they're getting killed. The puck hasn't been out of the Rangers zone.
Zibanejad trying to tie up a guy in front. Lindgren not paying attention. Trouba, Lindgren, Zibanejad on the ice again for a goal against. So, I mean, I don't know. Something's got to happen here. I mean, it seems like let's just get into it.
Oh my God.
I know. It's
Jesse
frustrating.
got in the mask.
Let's talk about this Friedman tweet. So earlier today, Elliot Friedman, and we know
First of all, that's not Zibanejad's guy. Berard's on him. What do you want Zibanejad to do?
All I said was he was on the ice. I didn't analyze the play, coach. I just said he's on the ice and he gets another minus. We get a tweet from Elliot Friedman. In the aftermath of their 6-2 loss in Edmonton on Saturday, the Rangers have made it very clear that they are interested in making moves and shaking up their roster. Among the names indicated are Chris Kreider and Jacob Trouba, although other options will be considered.
I put that goal on Lindgren. He turned around and tried to play the puck instead of letting Igor control the puck and taking the man. Igor could have covered the puck there.
It doesn't really matter.
Who got that same? Who got the same lowest goal?
Oh, I didn't see.
Just now? I don't know.
I didn't see who it was, Coach. Why?
Because they jinxed the whole thing. Thomas's first came back, Buchnevich and Cuylle.
I think that was Thomas. Isn't he 17? I think that was him.
Thomas is a righty. I thought that was a lefty who scored. I didn't see it.
Whatever.
If you're in the chat, tell us who scored that goal because I didn't see it. I didn't see the name. But anyway, we get the news from Elliot Friedman that the Rangers are looking to make some moves. Chris Kreider and Jacob Trouba are the options that will be considered. And then there's a flurry of tweets after that. Emily Kaplan, Vince Mercogliano chime in. Everyone's reaching out to their sources, and it's all been confirmed. Arthur Staple in The Athletic claims that he spoke with a league source who said that Chris Drury made it known to all 31 teams that those two guys are available, as well as pretty much everybody's available, because he's got to make a shakeup to the roster. So,
oh my God,
I don't know how real this is. I don't know whether they can actually pull off a trade midseason like that, but it seems like they're actually looking to shake up this core. So let's start with that, little Ed. Forget the salary cap implications. I'll chime in on that and help you if there's an issue there. But I mean, do you think Drury is actually trying to move these players, or do you think he's sending a message to these players? What do you think is going on here?
My initial thought was he's just sending a message. The way that the Rangers are playing, I don't see anyone in this lineup being an attractive trade piece other than the guys we've been talking about, Cuylle, Kakko, etc. I mean, for once, we're actually talking about Kakko being an attractive trade piece as opposed to the other way around. So, I mean, I wouldn't want Trouba and Kreider right now how they're playing, so I can't see what team would want them. And I think they're targeting Kreider and Trouba for a reason. They're two captains, and they're saying that they're not safe. But at the same time, I think they should send a better message or a deeper message and do what we've been talking about and put Kreider as a healthy scratch. I know he's hurt, but fine. Put Mika as the healthy scratch. Send the message that way. Take one of them off the power play unit. Send that message. Saying that they're going to get traded is not sending a message, because if I could figure it out, so could they. Or if you could figure out the salary cap, so could the players.
So then the question is, are they actually, is Drury actually looking to move Trouba or Kreider?
So Kreider has a what? Modified no trade clause?
15 team.
15?
Trade protection.
That's possible. And Trouba's what?
15.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, going into this game, I thought it was just sending a message, but after this game now, they better wake up in the rest of the second and third period. Otherwise, I might be thinking something different. Because
there's got to be a reason.
I know Kreider's not playing, but
there's got to be a reason why they're calling up all these extra forwards.
Well, injuries, and Chytil's out, Kreider's out, so you got to have players in the lineup, Coach.
The first thing I would do if I was Drury is I would never sign a no trade clause contract again.
Well, you're just never going to be able to sign anybody then. That's a standard clause in a veteran contract, especially through unrestricted free agency. Like most players in the league that are unrestricted free agents and are of any quality have some form of trade protection in their contract. So it's not a Ranger specific thing.
I know
It's
it's
just
not
a-
a Ranger specific thing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like a lot of fans say that too. Like, don't give out no move clauses. Well, okay, then you're just not going to get players. I mean, you don't sign Artemi Panarin without putting a no move clause in his contract. He won't sign. He'll go somewhere else where they give him.
Because a team will do it.
Right, exactly. So it's just not. It's not that simple. The problem is they have too many guys who are veterans on long-term deals with no move clauses, and we looked at that one way and said, "Hey, this is great. Our team is locked up for the foreseeable future." But now it's at a point where severe performing. Wow, again, Coach, you guys are behind me.
Yeah,
Wait
Igor
till you see this. No, you guys are behind me. The listeners have probably already saw this, so I don't want to spoil it.
You can whatever.
Will Cuylle again.
Let's go.
The kid is buzzing. Wait till you see this, Coach.
When are you going to give me credit for calling it from like the third game of the season?
I don't know what you called, but I mean,
I called that he's running that line. You said Kako and Chytil and Cuylle. I said Cooley's running that line. He's the driving force.
he is a beast.
He's
There's
turning
no
into the
question.
driving force of the team. Never mind the line.
Yeah.
I mean,
Berard tries a wrap around. It goes right to Mika, and then Cuylle with an open net. I mean,
Coach Ed wraparound. Not a good start for Berard.
well, he gets an assist on that. I think that'll be his first NHL point.
Coach Ed is very against wraparounds.
Yeah.
It's one of his pet peeves for sure.
For
Got to be a wide open. It's got to be a wide open net. Otherwise, someone on the rink is open. Make a pass, right, Coach?
Yes, sir. Peter Forsberg.
Well,
that's where I got
on
the
that
quote
one, it looked
from.
like they were
Nice
kind of
pass.
on a change or
It worked.
slow
It
to get
worked
in the
out there.
zone.
Yes, it
No,
did, but
Mika's
more
right
often
there.
than not, it doesn't. That was a nice pass by Mika right there.
Was.
Little Ed, if you scroll up in the chat,
What do you want me to put up?
one of our loyal listeners, Chris, message at 8:10. Everyone watching Mika's minus but not Panarin laughs. So Chris has been responding on Twitter to us. Thank you for that. But he's been harping on this Panarin and Lafreniere defensive numbers, and he actually put up a chart of what he's been following. Panarin and Lafreniere have been on the ice for 15 goals against, and when they're on the ice, and the rest of the team 17 goals against. And he's saying everyone's harping on Mika. So, I mean, look, from my perspective, I care more about Mika's defense than I do Laff and Panarin's. Number one, Laff and Panarin are wingers. And, number two, that line is more of a scoring line. Mika's supposed to be a two-way center. So I think that's part of the problem. It's not, and this is another issue we had, and I'll let you guys chime in a second. This is another issue we have with the Jack Hughes situation where people were saying, oh, you guys are too hard on Jack Hughes, blah, blah, blah. Jack Hughes was playing center, so we were hard on his defense. When he's playing left wing, his defensive deficiencies don't bother me as much, right? That's the reality.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I take the center position. I mean, anyone who listens to this, or I've coached and Coach had the same thing. You have to be strong up the middle. And I mean, I had Zibanejad the last couple of years as like a Selke favorite, and you can't win the Selke going -4, -5 every game. And Chris, thank you again for being so loyal and responding and engaging with us on social media. It's fantastic. That's basically, Cousin Ed hit it on the head, and I'm sure Coach Ed's going to agree.
I mean, I'm going to agree to a degree because if Mika's scoring, his plus minus isn't as bad. I don't want to give Panarin a free pass because I'm watching that Edmonton game the other night, and it was constant giveaways. You can't make those passes against a team like that. It's a different game. He's got to be – they were talking about Florida today on NHL in the tape room. You have to play different ways against different teams, and Panarin just doesn't.
100% agree.
They gave the puck to that team. I was watching it. It was like, how many times are they going to give the puck away and give up a 3-on-2? It was like all night. It was a matter of time before that game was over.
Yeah, I don't want to say we're giving him a pass because I agree with you 100%. He's got his turnovers. He's getting back to that gameplay where in the beginning of the season wasn't as magnified, but now teams are starting to ramp up, I guess. But
Well, I'm not gonna.
I guess we just don't expect Panarin to be a stunning defensive-minded player. Miko, our
But
center,
I'm gonna
number one
almost
center,
guarantee.
they need to be.
I'm gonna almost guarantee if you analyzed every one of their minuses, it's because of those giveaways, and Laff is getting in that habit also. He's doing those cross-ice passes. And I'm going to guess that that's why there's the minuses.
Well, we'll definitely take a look at for it, right? And maybe next game.
And even if it's not a minus on that play, it's putting the rest of your team. It's making the rest of your team tired. It's making you're chasing a lot. The whole flow of the game is in their favor. It's a whole difficult situation as far as the momentum goes.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think Panarin and Laff have been great defensively. I'm not defending them defensively. I mean, there's probably, it's probably something we need to take a closer look at. But again, I'll live with some defensive deficiencies with those guys. Maybe not to the extent they're currently at, but I would live with some of that because they're wingers and they're scoring wingers. So, I mean, you're just going to have that. I feel like most scoring wingers who aren't, Mark Stones or whatever, are going to have some lapses in their defensive abilities, So, I just think that's the way it is. And it's what you got to deal with when you have a guy with offensive talent like Panarin and Lafreniere. That's what's going to happen. Zibanejad, on the other hand, is a -10 coming into tonight. He's already -2 tonight, so now he's -12.
We were just on the ice for a goal. So
okay. -11.
-1.
Right, you're right. -11 on the season. Yes, I mean, I don't know what to say. That's the guy who matches up with all the best players on the other team. So they're just killing the Rangers when Zibanejad's on the ice. So I'm sure when you get into the analytics of it, you can dig deeper. You can pull out the board, like Coach said, and say, "Oh, that was Lindgren's fault. That was Miller's fault. That was this." Has he just been that unlucky then, Coach, that he's just on the ice when everyone else sucks and he's just good?
This is funny, Coach. Berard's a PC Friar alumni, so we get to pass on the wraparound. Jay and Coach were talking about Providence at the opening night suite.
I'm glad you're hanging in there paying attention. I like that.
Wait, so what does Chris say here? When Miller is on the ice with Brett Laff, the save percentage is 86%. When neither are on, just Miller, the save percentage is 98%. So, okay. As a coach, you see that, Coach. You're looking at those numbers. They're handed to you on a piece of paper. Are you putting Miller on the ice when Brett and Laff are on the ice?
You're going to try not to.
I mean, what are the other save percentages of the other defensemen? Is it just
Miller
that goes down?
I'm putting Miller out with the fourth line. That's about it, yeah.
He's got Miller in the press box.
Yeah. Playing bubble hockey with Trocheck's kids or something.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's fair. I mean, it's not one player. We've been hard on Zibanejad. He's been noticeably soft and struggling this year. He's not scoring, and he's -11. What do you want me to do? Look, give him a break because Lafreniere makes a bad pass?
I don't want you to give him a break. But just like a face-off win or loss has a lot to do with all 5 players on the ice, so does your plus-minus. And you're the one that always goes against plus-minus, and now you're harping on it because it's Zibanejad. So there are there are mitigating circumstances. I'll use your law firm.
He just always does this. It's like
circumstances to his minuses.
What I say about plus-minus is that it can be a misleading stat because usually guys on good teams have a good plus minus, and guys on bad teams have a bad
just do right there. That was the worst pass I've ever seen.
And guys on bad teams have a bad plus minus. So when you have a bad plus minus on a team that's 12-6, that's a bit concerning to me. That's all.
They're 12-6, but they're not playing good.
But they're 12-6.
Everybody has been talking about that. Every analyst has been saying it on NHL Network, everywhere. They are not playing like a 12-16.
We've been saying it.
They're not playing good defensively.
But they're still 12-6. What's the team's plus minus on the year? What's the goal differential? Let's look that up. It went down after the 4-goal loss to Edmonton, but let's see. The goal differential of the team is plus 15, and Zibanejad's minus 11.
All right, now I need algebra.
I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Right? Chytil's plus 12.
Look, I gave you my
You know?
analysis last week on the -4. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Speaking of Chytil, let's talk about.
I want you to admit that Zibanejad is not playing well and needs to be better, and you just won't admit it.
I think he needs to be playing better offensively, and that would change his game. He would get more confidence. I don't think he's not playing as well as he has in the past defensively, but he's not playing poorly.
But why isn't his name?
Listen, a lot of it depends on what
trade
you're
rumors.
reading your line mates doing and the confusion. There's a lot that depends on it.
No, I know. It's a team. Defense is a team game. I understand that. But when you start looking at bigger sample sizes.
The last goal they just got, he went to go to the guy because he wasn't sure that the defenseman was going to take him. So that leaves the other guy open. So he's making a decision on that play that may not be 100% the right decision, but because someone else was out of position, he made that decision.
Yeah, I think last week's Coach's Corner was just to show that Zibanejad was in or doing his job for the most part, or at least trying to. And I mean, most of them were other guys making poor mistakes, and that one was another example with Lindgren not picking up his man. I mean, one thing we talk about all the time with our defensemen is turn and protect. Why is Lindgren going for that loose puck? Let Igor go for that loose puck, take the man, and that play's blown dead. But anyway, let's talk about Chytil. What's going on with Heats?
Yeah, so I mean, last episode you guys covered it pretty much that Chytil was injured and it was a suspected concussion. Obviously, you said your well wishes, but he's still out with an upper body injury. The team announced it's not a concussion, thank God. So he should be back at some point. I was hoping he'd be back tonight. I don't really understand, Little Ed, why they brought him to Calgary just for him to not play. I guess to join the team and not play.
I don't get it either. Maybe just to erase the worry out of everyone's minds that he's not, just to be around the team on the road trip, enjoy the rest of the road trip.
I guess so.
You know, like
it's a long flight for that.
I agree. But maybe he just wanted to be there, wanted to be with the guys. Maybe he asked. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, maybe, it could be literally anything. I agree. I thought it was odd. I thought he was going to be in the game. But I guess if you really boil it down to it, where you think of these guys as human beings, maybe he just wanted to be with the boys.
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing Chytil's injury has done, Coach, is it's given us a look at Capo Caco playing center, and I think he's been pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, he won a few key draws, and I thought he did pretty good against Calgary, even though the Rangers themselves didn't look that good. But he's definitely a different player to me than the last 2 years. He's making things happen. He's getting shots on goal. Still shaking his head a lot as he's going back to the bench, but
well, I mean, he's creating a lot of
definitely
chances.
Playing better.
Only got 3 goals on the year, but I feel like he's creating a lot of chances, and those goals are going to start going in. I know we've been saying it for years, but he looks a lot different to me this year. But just from like Little Ed, you said like center really matters to you. I mean, were you concerned when they said, "Oh, Kako's going to play center"? Is this a position he can play, or is he so reliable defensively that you just figured he'd know what to do?
Yeah, I was confident. I think his game, his style of play translates well to center. I think he takes pride in his defensive play, and it shows. And it's not like he's never played center before, you know.
Yeah, he played center in Finland. They were saying, right?
Yeah, he played a little bit of center in juniors. I actually, if that works out, I think that really strengthens the lineup. Number one, a lot of our prospects are wingers. So like guys like Brett Berard and Offman and Perreault coming up, they're wingers. So if Kakko could play center and, Chytil can move away from center, that should kind of make Chytil's game more straight line and less likely to, make a cut into Keandre Miller and get injured, right? Keep him straight line, keep it simple. Put Chytil on the wing with Kakko at center. It might be interesting to do that, even when Chytil comes back, honestly.
I've been saying that, for years. I like Chytil on the wing.
Yeah, you have been on Chytil on the wing, but I feel like Kako at center is not something we've really thought about much. So I
No.
find it interesting that they tried it.
No, we always talked about him moving to the other side and things like that, but never at center.
That's
well,
a good play by
interestingly
Zibanejad.
enough, Chicago moved Berard, or whatever, Connor Bedard. They moved him to wing because he's been doing horrible at center defensively and on draws.
Every graphic and stuff that I was making for Berard, I had to like double check that I was spelling it right and stuff. I was like, which one is it?
Yeah,
Did you guys get my
we might have to do a little Ed's grind your gears on the Connor Bedard struggles compared to Laugh struggles.
Did you guys
every year? Last year, Shane Wright, AHL. This year, Bedard, 12 games, no goals. No one. They were talking about it on NHL radio today, but they didn't say the word bust ever. But as soon as he happened to laugh, you with the Rangers. Bust. So
yeah, he's the bust.
Yeah.
Worst first overall pick ever.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
What were you saying, Coach?
The text I sent you guys with Sam about the drinking game when he goes, no relation.
I heard that one.
Who do you say no relation on?
Kessel?
Kessel
on
no relation to Phil Kessel, the 3-time Stanley Cup winner and current Iron Man.
I tweeted this out earlier. That's hilarious. But I tweeted this out earlier last game. Trocheck has really been struggling, man.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is.
I don't know what's going on with him.
No, yeah, he's not looked the same. Yeah, that whole line, and I think the line, he's a driving force of that line.
Oh,
Chris will tell me.
It's because who just turned his back on? You see, now there's a perfect example. He turned his back on the play, and the guy almost got a scoring chance.
And it was Trocheck. That's why I said he's struggling. You're behind me. We'll have to line up in the third period.
Back to Berard, Coach. What do you think of his debut so far?
I mean, when we saw him at Hartford, I wasn't overly impressed, but I'm watching him tonight, and he's fitting right in right now. I can't say anything bad. He doesn't stop skating.
He's an energy guy, with some skill. So
it was hard to actually judge guys last year. When we sat in Hartford, we were right on the glass, so you see it differently. Obviously, we always talk about it. So
this is Chris's nightmare right now. Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere are pinned in the zone for a minute and a half here. So this is, I'm sure this will be a goal against.
Oh, yep. What's Panarin doing? Circling the zone.
Yeah, I don't know. Trocheck's got to get going too. I mean, he really does. Last year he had over 70 points, right? And it wasn't just the points, but he was regularly a key contributor for all of us all season on his game, just little things he did on the ice. And I just feel like he's not doing those things or scoring. So I don't know what.
I don't want to make an excuse, but I'm wondering if he's got a little nagging injury or something because he's just not skating.
It's like what it seems like to me too. I don't want to speculate, but it seems that way. He just doesn't seem.
I don't see what else it could be because he's not that type of player to take any games off. Last year,
it's like out of character.
I think last year we even said that. Like even when he takes a game off, he's still putting like 100% in. Like you could still tell, like by the eye test. He's not passing the eye test.
If he has a freaking little jammed shoulder or something,
that was a nice little
that is. You can't play with that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Well, you could play with it, but you're not going to be able to get, strength on the shot.
This is the best shift that Miller's had all season.
And now he's going to get caught deep.
And now he's going to hesitate on a pinch, and it's going to lead to a breakaway.
I got to say, I watched the Calgary game, half of 2 periods of it, and then I saw the replay of the third. And Edmonton, I thought he played a pretty good physical game. I thought he played pretty good from the Vancouver game on.
Why is Miller forechecking? That was a nice forecheck, but why is he forechecking?
Miller rings it off the post. Miller shot blocked, and it's out of the zone.
This is some good zone time, though.
Unbelievable. That was a good shift, though. I'm happy about that, obviously. And surprise, surprise, it's the Kako Cuylle line, right? Oh no, it's not Cuylle. He's got
Edstrom.
Cuylle was a Zibanejad. Oh, he's got Cuylle was a Zibanejad tonight. Forgot about that.
That's Kako
Berard.
Smith. Kako Smith.
I'm way behind that. He just hit the post.
Berard got
We gotta do a better job timing our streams. I think if we're gonna do this again.
Yeah, we got to line it up for the third. I'm almost at the end of the period, but I'll pause it going into the third.
I
You
have
guys
30 seconds left.
Oh,
Yes. So you're 30 seconds behind me. Tell me when the period ends, Coach.
35 seconds.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
at least now.
this period was a really good period. They had that one bad shift a couple of minutes ago, but I thought they played pretty good.
Yeah, I think overall the team is playing fine, but again, this is they need to be better. It just needs to be everyone needs to be like a step better. We know,
Just
Paul.
that
Coach
period
has got a
ended.
stream on. All right, Coach has got a stream on that's like 30 seconds delayed. So
Yeah, we're not on cable. We got to stream, and it's horrible. Speaking of the Gotham Sports app, it's just brutal. But yeah, I was thinking about. It always kicks me out. I have to like re-sign in every time. It's annoying. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking about that today. I feel like because the Rangers went to the Eastern Conference Final and they were playing almost perfect hockey for such a long time, or pretty much the entire season last year, we're kind of spoiled that like we're just expecting so much right now, which we should. Don't get me wrong. The team they're playing poorly. We should be expecting better. We should be demanding more out of them, I should say. But I mean, like, the team is going to go into a little bit of a slump. Let's hope that's all this is, and the rest of the season turns around. But like, last year was kind of like a.
You see what's going on right now?
Yeah, this is great. Reppy comes back out.
The goalies are being separated.
All right, we're in for a good third period, I hope.
At least they're showing some emotion, boys.
You know, that's why I named. That's why I named the episode.
You were buzzing, but I mean, Cuylle and Rempe were being shoved off the ice by the linesmen. Like, I don't know what's going on, you know?
No, I feel you. We are doing a live stream out during the game, so we got to interrupt it for the good moments. Rempe's coming back.
Cuylle's just physical as hell, man.
You're way behind me, Ed.
I know. I was at like 45 seconds when you were at 30 or 15.
Well, there's no way Coach is going to be able to figure out how to pause and play and time it. So you're going to have to figure out a way to speed up 15 seconds.
What are you talking about? I could pause and play.
I'm on GothamSports.com on my computer, and I'm that far back. On my computer. Plugged in. No Wi-Fi. Hardwire. I have good internet, a very expensive computer. So no other excuse except for Gotham Sports app sucks.
We might get a little goalie fight tonight.
But you know what I'm trying to say is like we're expecting like perfect hockey, and obviously it's not happening right now. You know, so hopefully they're just able to turn it around. And I mean, we are expecting. Wow, that's actually a little dirty there by Igor and the other goalie.
No, I agree with you. I think the Rangers have been banging on the door of reaching the Stanley Cup Finals for 3 years. They've been going for it. They had the core in place. They have the young guys on ELCs. Now they're locking them up. They have the horses, right? They've been ready, banging on the doors, and they have consistently failed in big spots against more physical teams. They did it against Tampa in 2022. The Devils thing, maybe not a more physical team, but just completely, you know, I don't know. Like that was a disaster. And then Florida last year. And I think Rangers fans are just waiting for the other shoe to drop. They're expecting the Rangers to sign Shesterkin for $12 million by 8, and the team to just consistently be relying on great goaltending and not be good enough to win the cup and reach the second round of the playoffs for the entirety of that contract. That's what Rangers fans are expecting, I think, right now. So, yeah, it's frustrating when the team is not putting in max effort. As fans, all we want them to do is play like they care, because we care so much. We're sitting here wasting 3 hours a day watching them, you know, and analyzing them. And I mean, shit, we have a podcast. Like, this isn't so. We're using our free time right now to sit here and talk about this and watch this game. The least that they could do is play like they care, right?
I'm sitting here like working on the graphics and everything, like panicking, like getting ready for the show, and I'm listening to the commercials about the guy doing the baby shower for the kid. I'm like, this guy's a lunatic. Who the hell would do that for their kid? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like sitting here doing a podcast about the Rangers. I'm like, do other people think that about us? Like, who's this lunatic that's spending all his time on a podcast?
Yeah. No, seriously. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, look at all these people that, go online on X or whatever, and they just tweet all day. All day. It's all they do is tweet all day about the Rangers. Every single thing that gets posted, it's constant. I can't keep up with it. You got to work. So
Crazy.
I go on. I do it. I do what I can. But like all day, people care. Fans care. The Rangers have a diehard fan base, little Ed. I mean, that's what it is. Like, we are diehards. We want to win the Stanley Cup. We want to see our team win the Stanley Cup. It's been 30 years. It's not acceptable to play uninspired. It's unacceptable. Yeah. And I think Chris Drury gets that. I think that's so. What
Chris Drury definitely gets it. He's trying to send the message to the rest of the team for sure. I wish we had Chris Drury's on the team.
If he has to trade Kreider to send a message to everyone, by the way, I just got a Kreider jersey last year, so of course, of course, Kreider's going to get traded. Coach, you've been quiet for a while. Go ahead and respond to that before we do.
No, I mean, first of all, if Kreider gets traded, I'm definitely buying you a jersey of every player I want off the team.
For all you new listeners, Cousin Ed has a lingering jersey curse.
I think Drury's been around enough teams, championship and not, to know what it takes and the character it takes. And it's a process as a GM. It's a process as a coach. It's a process as a player. But it's unacceptable that you're not psyched to hit it to the NHL and play hard every 70 out of 82 games. I'll give them. I know it's a grind. I feel it as a grind just coaching a stupid club hockey level team to just get motivated. But these guys, they're getting paid a lot of money. They should be very easily motivated.
This is their full-time job, I mean, yeah, you have your full-time job, plus you got to go coach and stuff for not a lot of money.
I wish I could.
That's all they have to worry about.
Yeah, I wish I could be at the rink every day getting paid. Bank, bro.
There's just no reason. There's just no reason for it. Like, look, they don't have to give max effort every single second of every regular season game. Guys like Kreider, Banajad, Fox, Shesterkin, all these guys, Panarin, they've gone deep in the playoffs at this point in their career. They know it's a grind, and they maybe are saving a little bit of their energy for that. But you can't save this much energy.
No,
you gotta
get there.
You got to play hard, like
they're not that good. They're not that good to turn it on and off like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Banajad did not turn it on the last 2 years in the playoffs, so I don't want to hear that.
Chris says that coach is going to buy me a Miller jersey now. By the way,
without a doubt, anybody who listens knows that. I'm going to drop ship. I'm going to drop ship it. I don't even want to touch it.
All right, so let's do
one-day delivery.
While we're on the intermission, let's jump into the coach's corner. Let's hear from our sponsor at Bella Italia.
Hey everybody, Coach Ed here. I'm over here in the shop at Bella Italia, marble granite quartz, picking up my order for a nice little bathroom I'm doing. I've been a contractor almost as long as I'm a hockey coach. So listen to me when I tell you, when you want the quality work and craftsmanship, I'm going to see the boys over at Bella. They serve all 5 boroughs, Westchester, Long Island, all the way out to Montauk. Whether you're a Ranger fan, Islander fan, Devils fan, they're going to take care of you no matter what. Make sure you give them a call, 516-561-1018. Let's go Rangers. All right, boys, bring it in.
Go ahead and laugh.
I'm sorry. It's so good. It's just so well done. I can't wait to see the other commercials too. They're all going to be Coach Ed oriented. I've decided. Anyway, Coach, tell us about puck watching and what you've been seeing in these games.
Well, we're going to go over the six goals again from Edmonton.
All 6?
I'm going to go over all 6.
All right, you got go for it.
On the first one, I got to try to do this handheld. What happens is the Rangers are going this round offense. Brett makes a turn. He falls. That leads to a nice 3-on-2 break by Edmonton. Trocheck's hard on the back check. You have Schneids. I forget who the other defenseman was. The other D did pick up the wing on the right, on the left. Trocheck pointed to Schneider that he had the guy on this side.
Can you bring
Schneider
that more into
backed
the
up.
screen, Coach?
I'm sorry. Schneider backed up into the high crease area, left this guy open for the one-timer, and kind of a screen on Igor, I would say. He didn't get a definite view on it. So, again, Trocheck gets a minus on that. Is that his fault?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, okay.
What do you think that is? Just a miscommunication with Schneider?
I mean,
or?
You know how I love Schneider, but he's had a rough 2 games, in my opinion. So that was the first goal.
So what, you want Schneider to step up there when Trocheck points that he's got the guy on the side? Why doesn't Trocheck just take the guy in the middle?
Because then Schneider's got to come. He was he was back checking down here more. He was back checking on this side because this guy had the puck originally, and I think he gave it up and it came back to him in the high slot. When you go on a 3-on-2, when there's a back checker coming back, the whole objective on offense is to create a mini 2-on-1. Yep. Obviously, it's an odd man rush either way. So these 2 Edmonton guys did a good job of figuring that out. You know, the D came up to this guy and he just dropped it into the high slot. This forward coming down the middle also slowed up. So Schneider had to make that jump up, but he didn't read it properly. And, you know, look, that's a fast team and it's a quick game and you got to be ready for it.
Well, that's something like Laviolette said. He said, we knew that the Oilers team was good off the rush, and they talked about trying to stay above them, right? And that's kind of similar to what you're saying about Panarin before. Instead of trying to make that turn, obviously 9 times out of 10, he doesn't fall, doesn't catch an edge on that play. But he's just got to get that puck deep or get that puck on net against an Oilers team who's good off. Against an Oilers team who's good off the rush, and if the coaching staff is drilling it into their minds to stay above them, you got to get that puck deep or get it on net or find that guy breaking to the net. There's no reason for him to do that Gretzky curl in that situation.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's more on Panarin than anyone. Okay, so a little bit. I think that's just chalked up to a little miscommunication there, based on what you said, Coach. I think.
Yeah, I mean, again, but that's defensive zone. That's team defense. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yep,
that's where
Schneider should have stepped. Yeah, Schneider should have stepped up on that. It was a similar play as last week, where you gotta, as a defenseman, if you're gonna step up and try and block that shot, you either gotta block it or kind of get out of the way. He goes to block it and then he screens Igor inadvertently.
Well, if he didn't hear Trocheck or didn't read that Trocheck was taking the guy on the wall, you know, he's not necessarily out of position in that situation, but he's got to have the awareness to see and hear Trocheck. I mean, but I think it's more Panarin. Go ahead, Coach. Goal 2.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. So on the shorthanded goal, the second goal, now Edmonton's buzzing, and you have a power play. First of all, they're very lazy. I know I'm not drawing it yet. They're very lazy on the power play. As far as after Edmonton ices the puck, like. Fox takes this little casual stroll. He's got a guy bearing down on him. He actually beats Fox to the puck, takes it around. Fox goes this way. The guy comes around. And then this is where Zibanejad kind of makes a bad mistake. Not just him, but you had Fox here on the puck. You had Zibby coming back. I think Panarin came down the wall. You had 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. I don't know. Laffy was probably waiting down here or whoever it was. I didn't see the 5th guy. But we had 4 guys on this side of the ice. There was another forward here. And Nurse just came down here, and whoever that was just shot it across, and he had the shot. that's just unacceptable. That's just taken for granted. Fox is going to make a play, and it's just not. That's not acceptable.
Yeah,
So,
and Laviolette said he said they had to be better on the puck retrievals and they had to be better on their entries and their breakouts. And that's
so that was just four guys puck watching.
Yeah.
Third goal. The third goal is something I read when I actually read like 2 chapters of Scotty Bowman's book. I didn't finish it. But obviously we've been talking about Cuylle. Love the way he's playing. He comes down the wing. A shot from was about here. For some reason, Keandre decides to go all the way down here. I don't know why. So
you got to move in the screen, Coach.
I'm sorry.
If you could tilt your screen down a little bit, it might be better. There you go.
So the Rangers had 4 deep. Cuylle, instead of trying to hold on to the puck and bring it around, takes a hard slap shot. Short side, goes all the way around and out of the zone. And who picks it up? I think it was McDavid and the boys. And Keandre's caught deep. It turns into a 3-on-1. I think that was McDavid's first assist. I forget who scored it. But again, puck management. You're playing against a team like that. He's not going to
really score. McDavid, Coach. 2-on-1 with Trouba back.
Yeah, he's not going to score on that slap shot.
Miller's on that play.
Miller was down here pinching.
Miller's late coming back.
Yeah,
he almost got back, but he was too far in.
Message to your defensemen or the defensemen out there: when you're on the ice with a player like Connor McDavid or his line, you don't join the rush, no matter how good it looks.
Message to Will Cuylle, as good as he's been. When McDavid's on the ice, don't take a slap shot high and wide.
Hit the net. I mean, that's my biggest pet peeve too. If you're gonna shoot the puck, you got to hit the net on that situation.
Hit the net, let the goalie save it, take a whistle, face off in the offensive zone, line change. Maybe McDavid goes off. The whole game is a different dynamic. That's puck management, clock management, just awareness of what's going on. If I'm out there against McDavid, I want the goalie to freeze that puck and take a whistle. I don't want him building up any momentum skating around.
And he reads that play too. A player like McDavid sees that puck going wide, and he's able to read that play right away.
Chris harping on laugh on that play, but to me, it looked like I've been watching him while you speak, Coach. To me, it looked like laugh was at like the end of a shift. He gave it everything he had coming back, but he couldn't keep up with McDavid and Draisaitl. He at least was back checking, so I'll give him that. But he looked tired. If that was full speed, then yeah, I'm with you. But
CW, I want it to look blue like in the Miracle on Ice game. Remember the ice was blue tinted?
Yeah, that's funny. Get Coach a towel, he says. Oh, I like this comment too. Cuylle was smart. He jumped off the ice and Mika got the minus.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that. That's funny. All right, goal 4.
Goal 4. It was just a brutal play in front of the net. I think Lindgren was here. You had 2D. You had a forward like joining Lindgren with the guy with the puck, and Bouchard just came down the high slot. There was no forward in the high slot. There was a forward here, the center. I don't even remember where everybody was, but this area was unprotected, which is one of the biggest no-no.
I'm looking at the play, Coach, and pretty much the whole defensive zone is being shown on this goal. And you see Trouba, Lindgren, like you said, Trocheck is back. Trocheck goes to the puck carrier, Janmark. I don't see a winger in the screen. I don't see Panarin or Lafreniere even on the screen, and there's 4 Oilers on the screen. So
nowhere to be found. This is what I'm saying.
And then after he gets it, still nobody on the screen. Bouchard scores, and then you see Panarin gliding into the screen. So he was somewhere on the ice. I just don't know where he was.
Yeah. They were just lost. That's what I said on my notes. They were lost somewhere. And Bouchard just trickles down the high slot and just rips one.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's on Panarin and Laugh. I think everyone else looked in pretty decent position on that play. But
all right, goal number 5. This is one where Mika gets a minus where I don't think it's deserved.
Little Ed, you're muted, by the way, if you were talking.
I'm unmuted. I was coughing before. I didn't want to.
Because you had Schneid's here. McDavid's back here again. You're out against McDavid. Always have to know he's out there. Where is he? Schneider's watching the puck. Mika had a man. You watching the play yet? I think Mika had a man swirling down here. The puck came around up to the point. Instead of Schneider's going, which he usually does very well, which is why I'm surprised. He's always playing well without the puck. Instead of him battling McDavid here, he stays at the top of the crease. This puck gets through to McDavid for a tap-in.
Did he try and block that too?
Not really.
No?
He tried to get. He was just watching, and the pass was like over here, and McDavid just freaking tapped it in.
Yeah, Schneider on this shift, he's just puck watching all the way around. He was just puck watching he pretty much stood still in front of the net and just puck watching.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of him, usually, in my opinion. So
that's
another
minus. Another minus for Mika.
Yeah, but he had his man. Is my point. He had his man.
Yeah,
the sixth goal was the one where if you listen to Ken Danico, says you never do this, which I think that sometimes you should. McDavid's coming down on Mancini. I think it was a 2-on-2. And he comes wide, and Mancini lays out and goes this way. McDavid just puts the brakes on, puts the brakes on, cuts to the middle, and then realizes he has all kinds of time and just like out dekes Quick. Quick was like left with nothing to do.
Yeah, it was a 2-on-1, and Zibanejad got back to cover the other guy. Who was the other D on the ice there?
Well, if it's Mancini,
trying to figure. Schneider. Schneider.
He had a bad game, man. Bad.
He was all the way in the zone. He was almost at the bottom of the circle in the offensive zone.
Again, why are we doing this against a team that has the speed like that?
Yeah, that's not a.
That's
really on Schneider, I think.
I mean, again, Mancini he's going to learn that against a guy like McDavid, you can't just go down and try to block that pass. He's too good. Yep. You could do that against certain players you're out there with, but not a guy like him.
All right, Coach. Well, I like the in-depth analysis because, just looking at the plays, watching the game, and just seeing Zibanejad out there for all these goals against, I'm losing my mind. But in looking at the plays while you described it, I do see there's some validity to what you're saying. I'll say it. And
I'm not saying he's playing great, but he's not playing as bad as the stats are showing.
Yeah, I mean, look, eventually a coincidence.
Defensive stats.
Yes. A coincidence just becomes not a coincidence anymore when it continuously happens.
All right, Did you guys just see that? Did you guys just see that play, that cross-ice pass in the offensive zone?
What was
where
that?
The puck is? I think it was Laffy trying to go all the way across the Panarin. Now the play's out of the zone, and they got to break out again.
Do they realize when Valaket talks about east-west passes that they don't have to be 100-foot east-west passes from board to board? That it could be like a 30-foot or 20-foot east-west pass.
That is unbelievable. I'm very far behind. Gotham Sports app.
I guess we're never going to get them to sponsor our podcast.
At least, yeah, no, we're not.
I think they're going to sponsor Hank's podcast, not ours.
That was Coach's Corner, which is sponsored by Bella Italia Granite, Marble, Tile, and Stone. Check them out if you're doing work in the house.
You added a lot of words to that. There's no tile in that one.
That was the thing on the ad. It said that.
There's no tile. It's just granite, marble, and stone.
Well, Coach, you got to edit it then because it says it on there. If you play the ad again, you'll see it.
I don't think it says tile, but we'll see.
I think we should make a bet.
With our other sponsor, Old Country Ceramic Tile. Should we hit the milestone moment?
Yeah, we can hit the milestone moment. It's a good game to do it. Will Cuylle recently hit his 100th career game. This is his 105th career game. And what a way to ruin the milestone moment. Braden Shen scores. Great. So 3-2 St. Louis. Zibanejad another minus. Zibanejad another minus.
That's unbelievable.
Let's take a look. Zibanejad down low, forces a pass. as Micheletti says. Turns it
Jones
over.
behind the
that
net.
though.
Schneider. Where's Jones?
Where was Schneider? Jones was behind the net.
It
But
was a
why
power
was
play. I
Schneider?
think. It was a power play.
Schneider
No, 4
not
on
there.
4.
Oh, right. 4-on-4.
I mean, $12 million goalie's got to save a one-on-one with Braden Shen from the side, but whatever. Anyway. All right, well, Will Cuylle, 100 career games. It was actually the game against San Jose, so it was 4 or 5 games ago, but I thought that was a big milestone for a young player. And also against Vancouver, Kakko's goal was his 60th NHL goal, so that's a little bit of a milestone for him. Hopefully he can, add to that a little faster, so it doesn't take him 5 years to get 60 goals. But we'll see where he goes from here. But all right, well,
pretty good pace right now. So,
Coach Schneider might have to, Miller might have to make some room in the doghouse. I don't know. I mean, it's after watching those goals against Edmonton and then watching that one.
Trust me, I hate to give it to him. It's tough, but not his usual self.
Yeah. At least with Schneider, it's not an effort issue. So it's something that can hopefully be corrected through coaching and video.
My initial thought before was that's why I asked if he was attempting to block a shot. I think it might be in maybe his mind, maybe other defensemen's minds that they're giving up too many shots. So maybe he's trying to almost go out of his way to block more instead of just trying to take that man in front. I don't know. I might be reaching there a little bit, but you never know. I mean, if they're talking and telling them in the locker room to block more shots, we need to block more shots, take away more shots. You get in the defenseman's head. You can't feed him too much information.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I get what you're saying, but he's got to be on McDavid on that one play.
Oh, without a doubt. But I'm just saying, like, if it's in his mind and he sees the point man with the puck, maybe he's like, all right, maybe I should try and block this. Oh shit, McDavid's behind me.
And it's too late.
It's like
trust me. I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but these guys are NHL defensemen.
Without a doubt, no. First comes first. McDavid's on the ice. You got to know where he's at all times.
Chris is on a roll tonight. Coach is going to need another level in the doghouse if this play keeps up.
I'm going to have to dormer it.
Yeah, he's going to have to dormer it.
Unbelievable. Rempe
Rempe's got to have a fight with somebody.
Somebody got laid out.
I was expecting after that, at the end of the second period, them to be coming out with a little bit more fire. I mean, they probably should have started that line instead of starting the Panarin line.
Rempe gets a penalty on it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. That's
Jesus.
Cross-checked him right in the face.
Oh!
Yeah, that was a stupid penalty.
He's going to get suspended.
That was a stupid penalty.
It wasn't to the head, though, right? It was kind of the chest. Yeah, I don't know. That's a dumb penalty by Rempe there. I'm sure the trolls on X.
Yeah, but that's the guy he was fighting at the end of the period.
Yeah, I know, but still, pick your spot.
That wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah, it's a penalty, but like,
no, it looked to the head, but then when they showed it the second time,
no, he was in the chest. He might have caught him in the chin with his fist because he kind of like hit him like that. But like, it's not like he went like. I thought he was about to cross check him like this. That would have been ugly. But he did the right thing in that situation. You know what I mean?
I guess.
No, like instead of
penalty?
he was skating towards him with his stick like this. Like can't really see my hands. So I was expecting the worst, and then he dropped it and just got in his way. You know, he tried to make it look like they collided.
Yeah,
clearly they didn't.
Well,
it could have been a lot worse, is what I'm saying.
Starts the PK with Trocheck, Smith, Trouba, and Lindgren, coach.
Oh boy.
I don't have a problem with Trouba. I'm sorry, whatever.
I'm just setting up for the worst. Lindgren, I'm not pleased.
Just don't let Buchnevich score. Please don't let Buchnevich score.
I mean, I hope they don't score again because I want to win the game, but I did put money on Buchnevich scoring. So if somebody's going to score, The only thing that gives me hope is that I feel like Igor is not
Bushnevich.
going to let Bushnevich score.
Bushnevich just chilling in Ovechkin's spot for a second.
Oh my
there.
God.
Or the opposite side, but
Unbelievable.
They got to get this puck out of the zone.
This is like one of the worst power plays in the league, I think.
well, they're not really giving them much. You're just giving them passes around. It's not like they're getting shot after shot. This is technically a good penalty kill in a way. You know, they're not giving them anything, and the Rangers aren't getting the puck.
Now he's got Keandre and Fox.
As I say that,
Look, Keandre's got a guy behind him. No one there.
There you go.
Look, he's
Oh,
joining
Cuylle.
the rush.
Lindgren. Oh, I'm way behind you guys.
Oh, God. Cooley's playing well, man. He's so good. Wonder if he can keep this up or if he'll come back to earth. I'm hoping he could be a stud if he plays like this all year, man.
I mean, it's going to be up to him. It's hard to play at that speed. We've been talking about it, but I mean, there's plenty of players around the league that do. So he's young enough to play with that energy. He's just got to keep it going and stay in shape. And
Here comes Rempe out of the box. Oh! Somebody tried to lay him out and ran into a wall.
Did a good job hitting him.
Yeah, it was a good hit. But it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, I agree with Chris. Trouba and Lindgren are fine on the PK. They're good penalty killers. I don't have an issue with them out there.
What my
Schneider,
reaction saying "oh boy" is in terms of more of like Twitter reactions.
Yeah, exactly. And I was literally
it's setting up for a bad. It's setting up for a disaster.
Anytime Trouba's on the ice and the Rangers give up a goal, it's all over Twitter. Like literally,
it's
you tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet.
Yeah.
One thing I was looking at earlier: how many goals do Rangers defensemen have this year? I know Fox has 0. Miller's got 1, and it was that one off the corner. Trouba has 0. Does Lindgren have 1? I think
Jones has 1.
Mancini has 1. Jones has 1. Schneider has 2. That's not a lot of goals from the defenseman. That's another.
I feel like last year they were. I feel like last year they had like one of the top producing, or at this point in the season.
Well, Fox had 17 goals last year, right?
Yeah.
He's got 0 goals. 0 through 20 games so far. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
0 goals.
They should trade him too.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a what is that? What is that expression? It's a parade of horribles. Is that the right expression? It's just like one thing after the other. When you talk about this team, it's like everyone across the board is underperforming in some way, except Jonathan Quick and I guess Cuylle and Kakko. I mean, I think Kakko's overperforming. Now he's up to 9 assists. He had 6 all of last year. So, I mean, he's already outproduced his last season.
He's overperforming, but it's not this phenomenon.
No, but
it's not like Nature's what he's doing.
No, that's crazy. But I'm saying like the Cuylle, Chytil, Kakko line, gold stars for me. Jonathan Quick, gold stars. The rest of the team is, I mean, I guess you can say the fourth line at times has been good in their role, but they're just a good fourth line. But like, I just feel like it's the whole team and the entire defense. The whole Zibby line. Even the Panarin, Trocheck, Laffy line is underperforming. So I don't know. I guess we can't harp on one guy here every single week. I'm curious if Drury's going to make a trade though.
If they lose this game, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. This is a rough game. I mean, even if Kreider was out, who knows if he's actually hurt.
Look at Bushnevich drawing with Rempe.
Yeah, I'd love to see that fight.
I'd like to see, getting into the last topic here, some emotion. I mean, towards the end of the second was good. I don't see
Yeah.
any other emotion from these players. That's why I named the episode Bradley Emotion. I've never seen Panarin slamming his stick and like slamming the door on the bench like that, like he was in the Oilers game.
Yeah.
And I was
he
expecting
angry.
more. I was expecting more from him this game, and there not much at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they say the Rangers have like a country club mentality, you know? And it's kind of the reality.
Do you think?
I hope
Do
they
you
don't
think
trade
Dolan?
Kreider,
When was the last time they put a highly paid player in the press box, healthy scratched? Who do you think it was? Who do you think it could have been?
Didn't Keenan do it to Leach?
That's
So that's all right. Fine. That answers my question.
No, I'm trying to think if it happened after that. I'm going to say Tortorella did it to somebody.
He
Do you
mostly
think so? Like
benched
Rick
Kreider.
Nash, or you think he
Brad Richards. Brad Richards in the playoffs, they healthy scratched.
Yeah,
I remember that.
All right. I mean, that's a great example, but I mean, what I was getting at.
That was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
What I was getting at, you think Dolan is saying I'm not paying someone to sit in the press box?
I don't
You think it's
Dolan
something
has
as
much to
crazy
say.
as that?
God.
What do you mean he hasn't much to say?
Panarin's on the ice for that one.
Unbelievable.
Panarin, Laffy,
This team is in trouble.
skating in circles around the zone.
I don't remember them scratching Shattenkirk, Chris. But I'm sure they did. I just don't remember it.
Wade Redden went to the minors, you said.
That was a long time ago, Redden. But
Dylan
Richard, I said
McIlrath.
Richards. Oh, Jesus. Panarin, what are you doing? Look at Panarin on this play. What is he doing?
Trouba's going to lose his shit.
Trouba's like, Panarin, I need to wait until the end of the year to get traded. My wife is still in her residency. Can you figure this shit out, please?
You can pick it up a notch.
You're going to get me blamed for this.
Trouba's battling here. Sticks with his man.
Come on, Mika. Oh. My God. Fox does that same move.
This goalie's
every
got a
single
glove
time.
like Don Mattingly.
I said it. I tweeted it. Joel Hofer, more like Joel Hall of Famer. H-O-F-er, right? It's fucking ridiculous. Mika's got to bury that point blank, dude. Sorry. We're watching the game. This episode's going to be rated MA. I mean, it is what it is. Sorry for the cursing.
I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, I can.
Oh, good. Long pass, Keandre to nobody. Good play.
To a white
This
jersey.
is ugly. This is ugly.
I just don't see anybody. I mean, the young guys are trying. You can see Jones is hustling Edstrom. But it's just crazy.
I guess we'll just say I hope they don't trade one of those guys to shake up the team.
Yeah, that's not the – if they want to shake up the team, you got to move a core player. You got to trade – I know some of these guys can't be traded before you guys flood the comments, but you got to trade one of Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, Fox, Trouba, Shesterkin, Trocheck. It's got to be one of those guys. You cannot – moving like Kakko isn't going to shake the team up. Moving Cuylle isn't going to shake Jones.
Who was possible to trade?
Well, they could trade Kreider with a 15-team no-trade list. They could trade Trouba with a 15-team no-trade list. I think Trocheck – I don't know if Trocheck has a no-move clause.
I wouldn't trade Trocheck, personally.
I wouldn't trade him either, but you asked me who they could trade. Let me check on Trocheck. I think he has a no-move clause, but it might have ended.
If they're packaging Kreider for Brady Tkachuk, sign me up.
Oh, without a doubt. At this point,
Yeah.
I'll trade anybody to get Brady Tkachuk.
Tom
but
Smith in
Kreider-
the comments. Welcome to the comments, Tom. Any chance Kreider's actually moved for Brady Tkachuk? There were reports out of Ottawa they are upset with him. I didn't see those reports, Tom.
Yeah, he's been taking bad penalties that have hurt the Senators. So he's been criticized a little bit.
That's okay. We'll take him.
I don't know. I mean, look, I don't know if I'd trade Kreider. I get it. If it was realistic, where Ottawa said, "I'll give you Brady Tkachuk for Kreider," you got to do it. But I just don't think that'll be the case.
No, it's
And
gonna
I
be
just
multiple. They're gonna
You
have
think
to get
Ottawa?
multiple
You think
players.
Ottawa's on? You think Ottawa's on Kreider's list?
oh yeah, who wants to go to Ottawa?
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely, he'll nix that in a second.
That's what I'm saying. So
You see Mikey 150's response to my post about Kreider?
No, when?
He said
Oh,
he'd
in
look
Twitter?
good as a
No.
Bruin. He should come back to Boston. If unbelievable.
Yeah, but
Who
who
we
do
get
we
from
want in
Boston?
Boston? That's the problem.
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like if they trade Kreider, they got to get a defenseman back. Something needs to happen on D.
We don't need D. We need.
They should probably trade Lindgren too. I think it's time
I
to move
would.
on from
We
Lindgren.
need another Boston Rangers blockbuster.
Big block shot there.
96, 2006, 2016. 50 years after the blockbuster trade with Esposito and Brad Park, we need a blockbuster Bruins Rangers trade.
Kreider, Lindgren, and a first for McAvoy.
Bring them home.
No way they do that. There's no way the
Take
Bruins do that.
Take Marchand.
At the rate this season's going, they shouldn't be trading their first round pick.
It's fair. But they're not giving up on the season. Oh my God. 4-2. I got 8 minutes left. Where are you guys at?
By the way, I see 7:33.
7:30.
I see this tweet from Puckpedia, which is kind of like the new cap friendly. One of them, a $5 million player who goes from Florida to Montreal loses $827,000 per season in taxes.
Wait, what did you say? Say that again?
Yeah, I know, it's a breakaway.
How'd they just let up a breakaway?
I don't know. I wasn't looking. I was reading a tweet. You tell me.
DeAndre's. Okay, Ted.
What does he say?
DeAndre's deep in the zone. He's getting back up.
Yeah, let me take a look here. Trocheck. That's what I was looking at.
Puck goes deep. Flip out of the
Trocheck.
zone, and someone went for a change. The defenseman just had no idea where they were. The guy snuck behind, flip over their heads.
All right, so here's the clauses. Panarin, this season and next, cannot be traded, sent to minors, or waived without player approval. Zibanejad cannot be traded, sent to minors, or waived without player approval for the rest of his contract. Kreider has a 15-team no-trade list, and he's got 2 years on his deal after this one. Trocheck cannot be traded, sent to minors, or waived without player approval. And then next year becomes a 12-team no-trade list. Chytil has no clause. Smith has an 8-team no-trade list. Kakko and Laffy have no clause. And Trouba has a 15-team no-trade list. No clause for Lindgren. No clause for Fox until next season.
I think that's bullshit.
What?
The fact that they can't be sent to the minors, what's their incentive to improve? Just their work ethic, just their own desire to win? That's bullshit.
They have a no-move clause.
Totally absurd.
Some clever...
You have no leverage. You have no leverage to do anything but just sit them out.
Some clever
If
lawyer /
$8 million
agent.
Yeah, be like, all right, sit me out.
Yeah. No, I hear you. What are they going to do? Scratch me?
That's
Go
horrific.
ahead, scratch me. I'm making $11 million. Scratch
I
me.
can't believe the owners agreed to that and the players' agreements or something. That's ridiculous. You can't be sent to the minors.
It's contractual language. It's not,
I understand why they're doing it. The players, obviously it's good for the player, but there's no leverage as far as the management to say, look, if you don't play better, you go into the minors. That was always the threat.
Yeah. So the NHL has an average of about 6 times the amount of contracts with no trade clauses than the next professional sports league. 6 times as many no trade clauses. It's pretty crazy.
No trade or no move? No trade.
No trade. Yeah, no trade. I mean, a lot of teams have it. Like the Bruins have 6 guys with no move clauses. The Hurricanes have 4. The Avalanche have 4. Dallas has 4. Edmonton has 7. Florida has 5. Kings have 3. Wild have 7.
All right, I'll give you. But you think Nathan McKinnon isn't trying his hardest every night? You watch that guy play; he's unstoppable.
Yeah, but he has a no move clause, so.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. He plays with a desire. You watch Zibanejad play with his no move clause. Is he skating like McKinnon? Not even close.
No, he just wants to go home with no bruises.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
You guys made fun of me when my friend Bear told us that.
I agree with it. I don't think I made fun of you.
Well, cousin Ed did, I think, or scoffed at
What?
it. When my friend Bear saw Mika leaving the game after they got eliminated in the playoffs, almost maybe 20 minutes after the game ended.
With like fresh skin.
Fresh skin, in his suit already, not limping, no bruises, nothing. And that shows carrying over into the regular season.
Well,
You know?
6 minutes to go in this game. You know,
It should be an interesting Thanksgiving, boys.
yeah,
Something's going to happen.
Tough. This is a home game against a non-playoff team. This is,
They got a
this isn't very
40-year-old
good.
defenseman.
Not very good. I would just play Kakko. I would put Kakko, Cuylle, and Edstrom on the ice for the last 5 minutes and just see what happens.
Don't even take him off.
Yeah, just leave him out there. Just whatever. I mean, they're just all over the puck when they're on the ice.
Last year, this is the difference. Last year, the Rangers would be down 2 goals with 5 minutes left in the game, and I'd be thinking they're going to come back.
Yep. I'd
This
be
year-
live betting a comeback at plus 600 or something.
Yeah, this year, not even close. I'm ready to just turn the game off.
Well, why don't we take a look at the upcoming schedule here in the final 5 minutes and see what we're in for.
Before I have a heart attack.
So make sure you get your game day meal from Sorrento's in Long Beach. If you're in Long Island, you got to check out Sorrento's. They're awesome. We got the Hurricanes on Wednesday. And
boy.
the Flyers Friday at 1 and the Canadians Saturday. It says 10 o'clock p.m. Is that 1 o'clock, Ed, on Saturday?
Yes, I made a mistake. I couldn't get the new one uploaded in time. So that's supposed to be 1 o'clock on Saturday. I apologize.
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Friday. Well, I'll be at Tom Segura on Wednesday, so I won't have to sit through that shit show against Carolina. Thank God.
Where you going to be?
I'm going to a comedy show.
Tom Segura, he's a big comedian right now. That should be really funny. Enjoy that.
Yeah, I'll enjoy that a lot more than I would watching the Rangers play the Hurricanes. I'll tell you. I'll watch it after. Oh, here we go. That's good. Schneider gets hit. Bushnevich off the post. Thank Coach, you got saved. Miller, not only does he run over Chytil, but now he takes Schneider out going to the bench.
That was Miller?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Can he just figure out where he's going, please?
This is wild.
Look, we expected some regression. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. The team is still in fine position in points. So I don't want to be overly dramatic, even though I have been.
They're playing bad.
But this is not good. Something needs to change, whether it's a roster move or some kind of team meeting. players only meeting or something. It's just not good.
Jesus Christ, Panarin had an open net.
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to call a players only meeting.
Getting back to our sponsor, I have a little Sorrento's leftovers in the fridge. As soon as this is over, I'll be heating up.
Make sure you head over to Sorrento's to get your custom pizza, any topping you want. It's absolutely delicious. Best pizza on Long Island, in our opinion. And definitely get all their dinners, chicken parm, penne alla vodka, you name it. What's your favorite?
Eggplant rollatini.
Eggplant roll. No, what's the other favorite? Yours was it chicken Sorrento's or something like that?
Yeah, with the burrata and the sliced cutlet.
Oh my goodness.
Brought Diablo.
Yeah, so definitely head over to Sorrento's and order your game day meal for this upcoming schedule. Big hit by Rempe there.
I don't think God has ever had a meal like Sorrento's in England.
No chance. Unless he's been to Italy before, which is possible.
Yeah, then I'll give him that, but there's no way.
Tom Smith is asking if they freeze the rosters for Thanksgiving, cuz I don't think they do. We lost cuz for a second. Chris said, I think it's only Christmas. I think I would have to agree. Paul said, you're making him hungry again, coach, as usual. Sorry about that. While we don't have Cuz here, I think it's a good time to run the 150. Mikey 150's back this week. So here we go.
Get into trivia. It's time to throw it over to Mikey P with your Rangers Ed 150, the fastest 150 seconds in the National Hockey Podcast League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rangers Ed 150. I apologize for missing the last couple weeks. I had a recording mix-up that cost me the first week, and then this past weekend, my 17-year-old cousin, Macy May, passed tragically in a car accident. So I was at home attending services and spending time with my family. She was a great kid. She just got a scholarship to nursing school while attending Kimball Union Academy. Scholarship fund has been set up in her name to support future Kimball Union Academy students. So if any of you would like to donate, the boys will post the link in the description of this episode. But back to the NHL. It has been an interesting few weeks since the last 150, so we've got a lot to get through, so let's jump right in. We had our first two coaching changes of the season, with Boston letting Jim Montgomery go after the Bruins' 5-1 loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets on November 18th. Assistant coach Joe Sacco will take the reins for now, with GM Don Sweeney indicating that there is no intent to start a replacement search at this time. Jim Montgomery posted a 120, 41, and 23 regular season record with the Bruins and was ousted from the playoffs in each of his two seasons by the Florida Panthers. Despite losing his job, he was only 6 days on the unemployment line after the Blues fired head coach Drew Bannister and promptly signed Montgomery to a 5-year deal. Bannister replaced Craig Berube in December of last season and had since posted a 39, 31, and 6 record at the helm. That's it for coaches. Let's go out west of the Pacific Division, where Vegas and Calgary are still in the 1 and 2 spots, respectively. Vegas placed Mark Stone on IR last week with a lower body injury and is still listed as day-to-day with very little updates on his injury coming from the Vegas camp. Calgary hasn't slowed down from the season opener with Dustin Wolf, and Dustin Wolf has proven to be an elite goaltender in the NHL. Flames have won each of the last 4 and have a light week with Ottawa, Detroit, Columbus on the slate. The Oilers and Canucks are still struggling significantly on the defensive end of the puck and sit in the middle of the Pacific standings, but good news for the Vancouver Canucks with Thatcher Demko slated to return from that knee injury any day now. Further east in the Central Division, the Winnipeg Jets are still playing outstanding hockey and lead the division with a 17-4-0 record. The Jets own the league-leading power play at 33.9%, and Connor Hellebuck has been all but unbeatable with a league-leading 14 wins and a .924 save percentage. The Wild and Stars have flown under the radar because of the Jets' hot start, but make no mistake, the Central Division is where the big boys are currently playing. The Wild are 13-3-4, and the Stars are 13-6-0. Together with the Jets, these teams have surrendered the fewest goals in the entire league alongside the Maple Leafs and New York Rangers. Utah has fallen off after they came smoking hot out of the start, and the Avalanche finally have Nichushkin, Duran, and Lehkonen back in their lineup, with goaltending mainly Alexander Georgiev finding their footing. The Avs are 7-3 through their last 10 and looking to claw their way back up the Central Division standings. Officially back east in the Atlantic Division, the Leafs and Panthers still sit atop the standings, followed by the Buffalo Sabres and Boston Bruins. Austin Matthews is set to return soon for the Leafs after his stint rehabbing with a specialist in Germany. And as well, Tage Thompson is back skating and set to return any day for the Buffalo Sabres. Despite their position in the standings, the Florida Panthers have been one of the worst defensive teams in the league so far this season, having surrendered a big yikes 72 goals through 21 games played. On the other hand, despite somehow hanging on to fourth place and firing their coach, the Bruins have scored a measly 51 goals through 22 games played. And it seems inevitable that the Lightning will get it together and leapfrog both the Sabres and Bruins in the standings eventually. Finally, in the Metro Division, the Devils are on top, followed by the Canes, Caps, and Rangers. The Devils, Canes, and Caps are all top 5 in the league in scoring, and the Devils are batting at 31% on their power play, putting them just behind Winnipeg for league's best. Tough news for the Caps, with Ovechkin suffering a broken leg and slated to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And the Canes are once again looking like regular season dynamos, but we'll have to wait and see if Rod the Bod can finally coach them to a cup. After the first quarter of the season in the Metro, it's looking like the top half of the division is going to separate from the bottom half for the remainder of the season if things continue as they are for the Islanders, Blue Jackets, Flyers, and Penguins. The Rangers have a busy one this week with 4 games, and their upcoming schedule is brought to you by Sorrento's. Make sure you're ready to order your game day meal. On Monday, the Rangers are at home for Jim Montgomery's coaching debut behind the St. Louis bench. Then they head to Carolina on Wednesday to try and slow down the Canes' high-test offense. They head to Philly on Friday for a primetime showdown against the Flyers. And finally, the tail end of a back-to-back, they are at home on Saturday night to play the Montreal Canadiens. As always, lots of good hockey coming up this week, so make sure to tune in next week for more updates. This has been your 150.
Yeah, Mike, we're sorry about your loss, and obviously it takes priority over the Rangers at 150 for sure. And Little Ed, I'm assuming you're going to post that link, like he said, in the episode description. So if you guys have a little bit extra cash, you can contribute there. This has been a tough one. Buchnevich at least won me the bet of him scoring a goal with the empty netter, but Rangers have now lost 3 in a row.
I think since Buchnevich scored the goal while Mikey was doing the 150, I have no choice but to donate my winnings from the Buchnevich goal to the scholarship fund for Mikey 150. So, yeah, like Cousin Ed said, I'll definitely post a link for the GoFundMe or for the whatever it is for Mikey's cousin for the scholarship fund. Sounds like she was very smart and talented individual, so it's a shame to see a good one go like that. But yeah, may she rest in peace. And if you were able to donate, it'll go a long way.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. There's bigger things than hockey out there, and obviously we're so enveloped in our teams and following sports, and we just forget things like that happen sometimes. It's a tragedy. So we're sorry, Mikey. We love you, kid. But back to the Rangers. I don't know what's going to happen here. I really don't. Something needs to happen. Tom says in the comments they need like a Trouba helmet throwing game, or
this is the same level as that whole thing.
It's something's got to happen where the team itself, the veteran players on this team, need to figure out a way to find it again, or Drury's going to do what he does, and this is over. This core is not going to get to ride to the end of the season playing this way and have a first or second round exit. It's going to be unacceptable to Drury, I would think. I know a lot of fans don't like Drury. He's made some questionable trades in his first offseason as GM and signings, but he's been pretty good since then. He's a great drafter, and he can look. If these rumors are coming out that he's trying to trade guys, nothing leaks from Chris Drury. We've been watching this Rangers team with Glenn Sather, to Gorton, to Drury, and there's just not a lot of leaks in this front office. So for that to leak, there's probably some teeth to it, And like Paul says here, Blues 43 shots on goal. I mean, again, like that's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's really.
The fact that Drury, if you want to hate Drury, whatever you want to do, not agree with what he does, he put trust in this core of guys in the end of last year and in the offseason of keeping this team together. And they didn't do it. So they're not showing what it takes to do what needs to be done to get to a higher level. So now Drury's got to, do what he needs to do to make it. They're not. He gave the trust to them, and they didn't perform. They're not performing right now, I should say. 20 games is definitely a test where they should be doing better than this.
Yeah. Not much else to say, boys. I mean, I think we can just kind of wrap this up here. This is twice we did this against Washington and now against St. Louis, and they've been outscored 10-5. So.
I think we better not do this anymore.
Maybe we should pick our spots a little bit better with the games.
Well,
I don't know. I mean,
you got next Monday night against the Devils.
Oh God, do we want to bring Neil on for that? I don't know. We'll see how the week goes, I guess. But
it might be good to get an update from Neil, even if it's talking about how the Devils are doing. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's. Let's see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. There is no roster freeze to answer the question for Thanksgiving. So, Drury is kind of ruthless. I'd be surprised if he traded someone on Thanksgiving. We might get a little reprieve that day, but any other day of the week, I mean, business is business. So, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, Paul, thanks us for doing this because the fans need some therapy while watching these games. So thank you, Paul. You guys are the reason why we keep doing this.
Listen, I mean, I'm on live recording right now, so I'm kind of toned down. But when I sit at home and watch this team play, I'm not like this. It's ask them what the group chat is like. It's literally me just ranting to myself for 2 hours. So it's just unacceptable. I mean, all around, it's not one player. We harp on Zibby, we harp on Miller. But coaches pointed it out. I mean, last game it was Schneider. Tonight it was whoever. It's like Panarin. It's like every game. It's every game with this team. So they're just not playing well. All of them.
Yeah, even Laffy started out hot, and he's not doing anything either. He's not playing well. Trocheck, you expect more out of him. I mean, certain guys, like what's the old saying? You pencil in what you're expecting from them, right? Like you expect Trocheck to come out and play a certain way. He's not going to put up 100 points, but he's going to give you the effort. He's going to win faceoffs. He's going to do the little things, and things like that just aren't happening for anybody except for the players that we keep talking about.
Part of the problem is that you take a guy like Schneider, he has a bad couple of games, but because the rest of the team is not doing well, it just magnifies his couple of bad games. Yep. They're at a position right now where they can't afford to one player to have a bad game because it just kills them.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And it's again, certain guys we can say it's not an effort issue like Schneider. I'm not going to sit here and question his effort. I think he's not playing well, but it's not his effort. Other guys, it's effort. And that's the problem.
That replay they just showed wasn't the most effort by Schneider, but I think they're just not having fun playing hockey right now. Nothing's clicking for them. They don't have the confidence. They're not enjoying themselves. I was thinking today, like I was looking at pictures for Kreider for the coach's corner graphic, and the picture that kept coming up of Kreider like holding the game puck when he's like yelling at the crowd, or like every time he scores a goal. Like, when was the last time any of that happened out of Kreider? Any kind of emotion, any kind of fun, maybe
the hat trick against Carolina.
Yeah, he was.
I understand it's a regular season, but we say it all the time. A player like Kreider like has to lead by example. Like, luckily the young kids are playing well, so I guess it's not the best example. But what if the young kids see Kreider playing that way? Like you always say, he doesn't get benched, he doesn't get put in the press box, he shows no emotion. Why would they? Why would the younger kids do that? You know.
Well, do you think this day-to-day injury is possibly a healthy scratch? I don't think they would do that, but I'm just throwing it out there for the conspiracy theorists.
If anything,
is that a way to healthy scratch him?
If anything, it's because it's to keep him healthy for a trade, so he doesn't get hurt for a trade. That would be my thought.
Man, if they trade Kreider, I'm going to be a little disappointed. I don't think that's.
Yeah, I don't want to see them trade Kreider. Personally,
No.
I don't think that's the right decision. I'm sure there are fans out there that disagree, but
No, I agree with that.
the thing with Kreider is even if Kreider struggles 5-on-5, he could play third line, and he's elite on special teams, right? A guy like Zibanejad, you're paying him to be a first line center, so he's the first. He's not someone you can bury at even strength, really. Like he needs to be better at even strength. Whereas Kreider, if he has some even strength struggles, you can lower his even strength minutes. It's not. He can kind of fade into the twilight of his career being a specialist on the power play and penalty kill. So I think he still has value at that cap hit. I wouldn't want to move him. But maybe that's the only thing they can do when you look at the clauses in the contracts to shake up the core, moving Kreider, right? Because there's how many teams are going to line up to trade for Chris Kreider? I know at Little Ed you're saying who wants him. You don't think Dallas wants him to replace Pavelski as they go into the playoffs? You don't think the Avalanche could use a guy like Kreider? Every single playoff team will be interested in Chris Kreider. If he's
Carolina would eat him up.
We can't trade him to Carolina. They can't do that. We're battling them for a playoff spot. We're not going to rebuild. I think if Drury trades Kreider, it's like a hockey trade, or he's bringing someone else in to replace him. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they'll rebuild. Maybe just trade Igor, trade Kreider, trade everyone.
Blow it up.
Let's try again. Right? But all right. On that somber note, let's see what happens, and let's figure out. Yeah, I agree, Chris. I said it when Mika signed. I thought that was a discount. I think he could have demanded more on the $10 million versus the 8.5. I think his value would have been $10 million at the time he signed, or 9.5. But still, he's being paid to be that top line center. It's hard to bury $8.5 million on the third line. 6.5 is a little easier. I know it sounds like splitting hairs, but
yeah, but the only thing you could say is maybe you put him on the third or fourth line, lessen his minutes, and he says, "I want to get out of here."
Okay, then we trade him.
What else? I'm saying that's the only. If you want to trade him and get rid of him, that's the only way you're able to do it. You can't send him to Hartford. You can't trade him to anywhere. Say we want to trade. He's got to come to them and say, "I want to go."
Yeah, well, you'd hope that if he was demoted, that he would, instead of doing that, he would say, "I need to play better so I get my spot back."
You would hope that, but
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting upset. Let's end this. Sorry, fans. I'm glad that we did this therapy for you, but I need to go to therapy myself now. So,
yeah, let's wrap it up before Cousin Ed starts crying.
I know I'm getting aggravated. We got to wrap this up. But it was a good episode. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys watching the game. We don't get to do that, obviously, because I'm in Miami. So, a lot of fun doing that. But until next week, maybe next week we'll do Stars of the Week as like a full 2 weeks thing. There wasn't really much to do, but Doghouse this week, I was literally going to go empty until the Doghouse. So, we'll
That was Cousin Ed's. That was Cousin Ed's therapy.
That was at our that was at our end of the year Stony Brook barbecue last year.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
That was Cousin Ed's therapy right there. Got him to smile at the end of the night.
All right, boys. Until next week. Hopefully they can get this shit together. But
have a happy
thank you.
Thanksgiving, everybody, to all the fans, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for joining us.
Hold on. Chris requested the broadcast banter graphic.
Unreal.
All right. On that note,
On that,
love you
and
guys.
now we're done.
Now we're good.
Love you.
Love you guys. Thanks everyone
Love you
for
guys.
joining.
Have
It
a
means
good
a lot
night.
to us. Later. Happy Thanksgiving.